Good evening everyone, it's Fiona from Fiona's Angel Wisdom page on Facebook. Welcome to another edition of Angel Thoughts. I just thought that today would be a good day to continue with our little session, and I'm going to start off with a soulmate card from Tony Carmine Salerno. It's a little lovely little box with some nice quotes and sayings and affirmations on them. So anyone out there who's having trouble with their relationship, or is looking for a relationship, or wants to just affirm the happiness within their relationship, let's just see who we target with the card that I'm about to pull. And if you're new to listening, I always pull the cards as I'm doing this recording because it's then more real. You, my beloved, are like a ray of golden sunshine. I breathe in your love, and all my concerns melt away, and all that is left is pure joy. Thank you, my beloved soulmate. So maybe that's the kind of person you want to attract, or that's how you feel about someone close to you, or that's how you feel about your life's partner. Then that's just to reaffirm how you feel about each other, or how you like the mutual feelings to be. The angels for that are the romance angels, and Archangel Chamuel and Archangel Haniel, angel of friendship. So what I'm going to do is, last week I read from Within a Miraculous Realm, and I'm going to continue reading from a Miraculous Realm, for the copyright thing here. Copyright 1988, Richard J Oddo. This book is copyrighted only to prevent its being misused. People dedicated to seeking greater self-understanding and growth of spiritual awareness have my willing permission to reproduce material from this book. Okay? So it's written in handwriting, and sometimes it's a bit difficult to read. So if I stumble and stutter, you'll know why. So last time we stopped at granite or crystal. So the mind may be expansive, vibrant and unlimited, but words and books are not. There are a few hundred words that express the inner feelings of the heart, and every spiritual book contains these same words mixed together in every conceivable order. There is only one truth, and each attempt to speak it or write it is merely the reordering of the same overused limited words. The same basic truth has been repeated thousands of times by thousands of different souls all through the ages. In person, they were able to convey a vibrant energy of life along with the words, but in a book, its vital energy is missing and must be supplied by the reader. Thus, even if a book be full of truth, few will be able to understand it in its limited, dead form. So here I present another dead piece of literature by an untrained, simplistic author. But within these pages I present my heart, with the hope that this dead book has energy vibration. For even though a rock be dead, it can still transfer energy if its form be of crystal. So within the dead treatise, I have given my love and soul energy in hope that my sincere dedicated life of freedom as a spiritual warrior will be conveyed. May you find within these pages the love with which they were written, and a catalyst to spark your realization of the divinity that you are. And may this book not be as a dead piece of granite to you, but have energy and vibrancy of a clear, pure crystal love. So what I want to say about this book is that he's drawn the pictures himself, and he's written it by hand and had it published himself. So there's a lot of love put into the book, and even just looking at it, you know that this book is quite something special. Spiritual equals. We are all spiritual beings of freedom. There are no differences of sex, color, or belief when it comes to our spiritual identity. The Absolute has no aspects of conceptualization, no distinctions and no dualities. We are spiritual essence within the Absolute, and even though in physical form of sex and colour, the spirit within us all is the one, undifferentiated, pure Absolute. We are one family within the fabric of manifestation, and all humans are of the same brotherhood, no matter if they be man or woman. The biological differences are for function within this magical realm, but the spirit which brings life to us all is beyond time, space, form, birth, and death, and I see one and all as this divine aspect. So, for convenience of writing, I will use in this book the masculine pronoun of he, his, and him, but in all cases it is the intent of this author that both he and she be indicated. Both man and woman are exactly equal spiritual beings, and this simple realization is needed if harmony of human relations is ever to happen. There is no superiority of physical form. Greatness comes through understanding and living fully in spiritual realization, and both man and woman are exactly equal in opportunity to grasp the truth and live fully in its light. Every one of us has within them the potential to rise to the highest light. It is our determination and sincerity which creates the possibilities, and these possibilities are limitless no matter who you are. We are all spiritual beings, and anyone can lift themselves to the freedom of a spiritual warrior and live in realization of their true spiritual nature. A spiritual warrior. I call myself a spiritual warrior, yet I am dedicated to peace. My battle is personal, and at all times I am in a state of vigil as I fight the delusory ignorance of my worldly nature. We all abide within the world, but a spiritual warrior recognizes a higher nature within himself and fights to maintain this realization moment by moment. My war is peaceful, and I am in no jeopardy of defeat, for my spiritual essence is the only reality. But the battle I wage is one of remembrance, so that I will not slip into delusion. I fight my own slothful ignorance within the battleground of manifested relativity, and the weapons I use are my sincerity and respect, and I have reaped a worldly victory of joy and love. Within this miraculous opportunity to experience the battle I call life, for it is the most glorious challenge our spirit can accept. Gone are the days of weak acquiescence, and inner strength of courage is necessary to face a spiritual life. The war I wage is to realize my true self-nature and abide in truth of its being. But just because I call myself a spiritual warrior, it doesn't mean I honor a spiritual concept you could relate to. My vision is inward, and my revelations unto myself, and for I cannot be generalized or categorized. My individual expression is unique, and my relation to the world is in sharing this uniqueness. Through the mastery of my life, I have come to understand one fact. I am a free spiritual being within the essence of the Absolute, and because I fight to maintain this realization and live the simplicity of its truth, I humbly and respectfully call myself a spiritual warrior. The Absolute. Throughout the ages, man's highest potential of understanding has been to develop a relationship between creation and creator. Every society has its appreciation linked to the primal questions of origin. Who am I? Where am I? And what is God? I am a spiritual warrior, and I can only supply the warrior's view as to the basic questions and doubts of life. In a book, names are necessary for relating, so I will integrate all personal and impersonal names associated with the divine. whether it be the reality, primal energy, Tao, the void, creative force, Brahman, Great Spirit, and all hundreds of other names, and use the wording the Absolute to indicate the ultimate reality beyond that, and use the word God to be the personal aspect of the divine within manifested existence. But even though I have given a name to the ultimate reality of life, I do not conceptualize a form. The warrior names for the sake of convenience, but does not identify, analyze, conceptualize, or give form or attributes to the name. The Absolute is, and there the thought process stops. No matter what your attitude, one is faced with the fact that there is isness. If you identify with a creation, or a divine energy, or a pure reality, or even a void that contains all, one has before him a primal substance of an isness. Even if one says there is nothing, this initial nothing is still something of differentiation. In the dualities of something and nothing, a warrior goes beyond to a point of no concepts and simply says the Absolute. Within thought, God is only a concept, and whether it be a personal God or an impersonal reality, one's concept of God is still just a thought process of the mind, and the concept one identifies with will dictate the God he will find and acknowledge. Every man and woman, no matter if primitive or sophisticated, will build a series of concepts to pin down every aspect of the Creator called God. God is thus a product of their thought, and as such it is but an illusion unto them. A warrior has one profound realization and builds his world from it. The Absolute cannot be conceptualized, for it cannot be built or created by one's thoughts, nor is its existence dependent upon thought concepts. The actuality of the Absolute is the only reality, and that isness will be forever fact unto itself, and no thought process can bring it into a higher light. For someone to study God in the hope of understanding God's identity and attributes is merely a search into their own conceptual thought. Man has built an identity within his thought, but since we are spiritual essence of the Absolute, thought cannot be our true identity, nor can thought ever be the reality of the Absolute. In deep meditation, thoughts are not present, yet one is still aware, for existence is not dependent upon thought. In a state of no thought, one abides as pure essence of the Absolute, for in its reflection we are God, in manifested actuality. There is no birth or death of the spiritual essence of our being. We simply are, and all existence is part of that isness. The questions of why, how, and where in relation to this manifestation are not part of the warrior's concern. A warrior recognizes his existence and grasps this unique opportunity to traverse this mysterious experience called life. For each moment is the adventure of a miraculous perception. At this very moment, the analysis of the present moment is superfluous. If one tries to analyze the moment, then one will lose the precious realization of it, for the Absolute does not reflect upon itself, but rather reflects through itself. The Absolute does not yield to question and answers, for it is the totality and thus self-explanatory and self-evident. It is complete and whole, and in no need of discovery. Thus we all abide within it, and vary in varying degrees of consciousness as the moment fulfills itself. Past and future are not a reality within the Absolute, for they are thought concepts. Sorry, just have to. Thought concepts within our mind, and thus are illusory. The moment is here, and the warrior lives it, not question it. To a warrior, this very moment of existence is God, since he knows that the moment and God are within him. He drops the concepts completely and simply resides in the non-questionable reality. Thus, God is no longer an illusion to the warrior, for God is not a warrior's concept. God is an attainment of a conceptual goal, but rather a realization of spiritual union to be lived in the present moment. If one could attain God, then one could lose God. God is not outside or inside. God is the only reality, and everyone and everything is part of this one encompassing totality. Reality is not a thought concept to figure out, but an experience to live. With no questions, there are no problems, and since we are the spiritual essence of the Absolute, then there are no goals of discovery or paths of attainment. And since we all must be here in this ever-present moment, then none of us has any hurry to get anywhere. With no rush and no goal, one becomes desireless and unattached to the world's folly, and instead abides in a constant awareness of the spiritual reality of this present moment. The warrior views the manifested world as a mystery, not asking where, how, or what it is. Whether illusion or reality makes no difference, for illusion is also part of the totality of the Absolute. The warrior is in this perception of manifestation, and whether dream or not, his actions have volition. So he dedicates to a purposeful life of understanding and challenge. This is the purity of a warrior's freedom. It is a simple life of spiritual realization, built of the manifested rocks of sincerity and respect. He knows he is a spiritual essence. He is spiritual essence, an actuality of the Absolute, and lives this realization. Thus, with no path, goal, or concepts to burden his heart, the spiritual warrior is free. Right, I'm going to stop there, otherwise I will just be reading. So next time it's going to be Parable the Young Crone. But I really, really like what he says, because you don't necessarily believe in God. You know, I accept all religions and all beliefs and faiths, but I was brought up with different religions around me, because my mother was from Asia and my father is British, and my parents never had us Christians, but because I went to school in Germany, I was also privy to different Christian religions, and I was just so blessed to be so open and engaged in Buddhism, Hinduism, people who are Muslims were our friends as well. And you know, I went to Malaysia often, which is a Muslim country, which is also you know, caters for all kinds of religions, and is just so blessed to just simply be amongst all these religions, and even witnessing people who are arguing amongst themselves. And I'm not saying, you know, that life's perfect in religion, because I know that my cousin was due to marry a Christian guy, and he was hanged for being Christian, and that was totally uncool and very upsetting. That was Uncle James, I used to call him, and he was a very lovely man, and I felt very sorry for my cousin that had to happen to her. But I'm guessing that there was a lesson there. I was too young at the time to fully comprehend more about that situation, and thinking back, I can't really say much, because I've only just not that I'd ever forgotten him, because I can't forget him, because he's a lovely guy, and I have pictures of him, but it's not something I think about every day. So it's just popped into my head that even when different religions coincide and live next to each other, there's still these problems and still very archaic. And we do need to learn, and maybe that's another thing why I'm quite accepting to all the different religions, because nobody needs to die just because of a belief. In essence, the beliefs are very similar to each other, and they just derive where man's changed them. But we all have that same, goal, is to be perfectly happy and content with what we have, and to feel that freedom that life offers. But I also believe that we have chosen a path when we come to Earth, and within that path we've agreed to teach lessons, live lessons, and share what we've learned. And we've also, people that come into our lives, we've made agreements with to teach and learn those lessons. And hopefully when we were born, we still remember what within ourselves, what we wanted to learn, and also give gratitude to those, even if the experiences were bad, because it may very well be that we wanted to experience something bad to learn forgiveness or something like that, So I'm going to pull my first card, proper card, Oracle card, one of my favourite decks, Magdalene Oracle by Tony Carmine Salerno. Yay! We just love him. Well, I do. Not in that way because he's married, but I think he's a gorgeous, gorgeous guy. But saying that, I've just pulled the Sacred Sexuality card by him, and it's quite raunchy. So let me just get the book. I always get the book out for him because he writes so beautifully that it makes more sense. Anyway, there's a lot of passion in this card and a lot of release. Sexual energy perhaps is the strongest motivating force that we humans possess. Yet this energy is also one of the most misunderstood and misused energies. Sexual energy, when honored and combined with love, takes a sacred form and becomes an extraordinary power. This form of sexual energy is the greatest creative force on our planet. Great achievements in all areas of life are possible when we learn to control and direct our sexual energy towards a particular endeavor. Sacred sexuality is a spiritual merging of two souls. This merger may be physical or spiritual, or it can be a purely spiritual one. Both are equally valid and powerful. Sacred sexuality is also a communion with the divine. Reflected through one another, you come face to face with the God-Goddess of all creation, God-Goddess of all there is, the Absolute. I've just added the Absolute. It is through such a union that you soon experience a most profound sense of love and bliss. This experience will have a profound effect on your life. Honor it, for it is truly sacred. Thank the universe for this blessing. And I'm going to thank the universe right here and right now. Thank you, universe. I also wanted to just read this one card, Saint Sinner, because it's been on my mind all day. The assumptions you are making about another person or event could turn out to be completely wrong. Realize that for every theory there is a contradicting and opposing one. There may be more to this situation than first meets the eye. You are advised to keep an open mind and heart. All is not necessarily the way it seems. Remember also that often the judgments we make about others are also judgments we make about ourselves. You will not find peace and fulfillment while holding an I am right and they're wrong attitude. Accept that there is no single truth that applies universally, and things will become clearer. I had a similar situation to that today where I had to make a decision. I was quite cross about something because something happened yesterday, and I was like, first, I demand an explanation. I demand, because you stepped on my toes and da da da. And then I slept on it, and then I woke up this morning and I had a couple of songs in my head, starting off with True Colours, and then I moved on to one of my favourite songs when I really feel and it's H by Tool, which is probably unexpected to some listeners here, but that is the absolute song for me to get clarity, where I can it just helps me get my out and brings that back, that inner peace. It kind of that song vibrates perfectly to that mood that I get into, and it helps me come out of it again. And then I was guided to, then I went to my back door, and I looked out, and there was this beautiful robin, and I always associate my grandma with robin. And I had previously asked for signs that I am doing the right thing, because I'd changed tack. And I actually said, you know what, I don't need an explanation. What I need is to let this go now. And it doesn't really matter, because what happened then doesn't really affect the situation, so it really doesn't matter, and don't worry about it. And I was thinking, is this the right way, or am I just being a mug? Because I didn't want to be a mug, or one of those people that just gets walked all over. And the robin was there, and that's my sign from my grandmother, who deceased when I was 6, so left, but she always comes when I need her. And for about 5 minutes I was just watching this robin on the fence, and I was like, well, okay. But then it is winter and robins are around, and then I went into my living room and I saw through the glass door that there was a card posted. So I got the card, and it was a robin on the card. It was a Christmas card, and I was like, okay, that's a double confirmation. 2 robins in within seconds. And I dashed to the back door, and the robin had gone, so I received the message. And it totally it worked out. I just have to say it worked out. So, ask when you get angry, when you get cross, do what makes you feel better. Not punching people or whatever, don't do that. So I know some people might say, well, I want to kick someone's head in. Don't. There's trees that you can kick and then apologise for kicking the tree, or, punching bag, or, I don't know, listening to music that helps you get that out of you, and then process. Okay, now I'm going to move on to Doreen Virtue's Ascended Masters Oracle cards, just because I find them very easy to read, and that's the week ahead, so Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Let's see. Okay. Okay, the Crown card is freedom. So body, mind and soul and your heart are yearning to be set free, because there's been so many things that have kept you pinned down over the last couple of weeks, months, and your body's quite tense. So what they want to do is just go with the flow, release your body, listen to your body. What does it want? What does it need? What is it asking for? You might want to roll your shoulders back, or do some gentle stretching exercises, or dance, or go to the gym, or have a massage, whatever you feel that your body needs, give it to your body. Right, then we have the card meditate for the distant past. Meditate is sit in stillness. Imagine yourself sitting with your legs crossed and your palms facing upwards. Well, I don't believe that your body needs to be in a certain way, but that's probably the most relaxing way to sit, if you can cross your legs over and just focus on your breathing and still the mind and still it quiet, block everything out and let your mind go, and attune your heart, mind and soul with your physical body. Imagine a straight line coming down from the top of your crown down to your base chakra, and then just anchor yourself in and let the thoughts flow. And when you're done, come back. Imagine yourself being a tree and your feet being the roots, and that's the Earth Star, and the roots going deep into Lady Gaia, keeping you grounded. And then imagine a white bubble coming over you, protecting you, and give thanks. Okay, that was a guided message, so it was not from me. Nurture yourself, so look after yourself. What does your body need? What does it need? At the moment, my body needs a lot of sauna, so I go try and get to the sauna as much as I can. I got a very good deal on a gym package, and the sauna is included in swimming, and it makes me feel good. Nurturing yourself also through giving yourself enough rest, listening to your inner voice, standing up for yourself, speaking your truth from a place of love, not from anger. That's the thing. Anger yesterday, coming from a place of love and understanding today. And, you know, sometimes I think, you know, I am a human being, blah, blah. And then I think, you know what, I can't run a page like that if I'm not in tune with myself in that way. So when I do slip up in an earthly way, I do revoke back and say, you know what, I need to readdress this, and I address it. But I do have a balance of knowing that I'm a human being, and sometimes it's okay to be be a certain way. So nurturing yourself and connect to Mother Mary while you're nurturing yourself. Next card, and that will be the future card, is the spiritual law of attraction. So imagine all your thoughts create your reality, and your reality is exactly what you're thinking. So if you think negativity, if you think can't, won't, don't, shouldn't, wouldn't, never, ever, no, then that is exactly what you're going to bring in. Now, a prime example is I've had a couple of emails from people that have said, my life is bad, my life is rubbish, my life sucks. I need a reading to help me change that. I need a reading. I need you to tell me that my life is not going to be like that. And I'm like, no, you don't need a reading at all. You need to change your thoughts, because your thoughts become your reality. And how can you expect to live a great life if you're constantly telling your life and yourself and the absolute that your life sucks? So I suggest you go and get yourself the book You Can Heal Your Life by Louise L. Hay, and start training your thoughts to positive ones from negative ones. Okie dokie. So the distant future is artistic expression. So that may be drawing, dancing, singing, expressing yourself from the inside outward. And that will give you great, great joy. And that's the cards for the coming week. I know, where's all this other wonderful stuff? But we're coming up to 21/12/12 Ascension. So what did you expect? It's all about the self. To connect to that energy, higher frequency energy. If you're listening to this, you're more than likely on the same grid as me, and we're ascending. We're almost there. We're getting ready. So now I'm going to pull a card from Crystal Oracle, Tiny Carmine Salerno, just one, to affirm that what I've just said is correct. This is not a deck this is a deck that I only bring out on very special occasions to affirm. It's not one that I use for generally looking at situations, because it's, you know, I don't know how to explain it. I don't want to okay, Australian agate. There you go, Australian. Not South African. Oh my god. Okay, Australian agate. Agate. So I need to find it in this book. Amber, amethyst, Australian agate. Perception, strength, courage and stamina. Your power of perception, along with your mental and physical body, is presently being strengthened. There you go. This will give you the courage and energy required to tackle what seems at present to be a complex and somewhat insurmountable problem. This problem involves someone who is incompatible with your ideas and principles. You are being urged to stand your ground, yet keep your calm. Don't allow yourself to be psychologically or emotionally bullied. All concerned will soon realize the truth of what you have already known for quite some time, that this particular person is simply not the person who they present themselves to be. Let's see, so someone around us. Someone around us, not quite right. Interesting. So I'm working on that. It's probably people who are ascending, shedding off their own self and becoming the person they are meant to be, and arguing with yourself. So I'm just going to move on to the next card, because, sorry, that card's just thrown me, because I'm just thinking, where's that come from? Ask an Angel by Tony Carmine Salerno. Passion. Nathaniel, Archangel Nathaniel, the red angel. He's passion. Well, it's a lovely card. It's got colourful wings and a heart with flames. Nathaniel. Passion. There you go, Nathaniel. Passion is the flame that lights the soul. It keeps us warm, connected, invigorated, and alive. It awakens within us a desire and a drive. A desire for knowledge, love, travel, expansion, expression, and change. It drives us forward and awakens us in the need to truly experience life. Like fire, passion comes with the danger of burning out of control and wreaking havoc on our insides as well as our outsides. It also comes with the danger of burning out. When nurtured and cared for, fire has the power to bring life, light, and warmth into our lives. So does passion. We surrender our ego and personal will up to something higher. The power, energy, and ecstasy of the divine is given room to move within us. We are filled with all the all-consuming essence of love and overwhelming ecstasy that occurs when the barriers of the ego dissolve and experience unification. It is from this state that we have a deeper and higher experience of passion. This is the passion that ignites and inspires love. This is the passion that drives and inspires us to do great things. This is the passion that awakens our sense of purpose. Our passions have the power to teach us about who we are. Each of us innately and often unconsciously passionate about specific things that relate to our life purpose and what we need to express and understand in our lives. Scientists, artists, priests, doctors, and activists are among the countless roles that are birthed from this passion and desire. Passion teaches us about what our calling is. Even more, it ignites within us the desire to fulfill our calling. This is a time to allow a higher sense of passion and purpose to fill your heart, for the light of that flame to illuminate the path ahead, leading you to new adventures in your life. This is a time to surrender your personal will to the higher will of God, allowing a true sense of purpose to fill you. This is a time to release ego, allowing sense of oneness to permeate your being, and let the power of passion, of love, to move within you. This is a time to be passionate, courageous, and inspired. Take a leap of faith and let the light of passion guide you. There you go. That goes with the cards that we read, and while I was reading that, you might have noticed that I stopped because I was told to pull another crystal card because that card was yesterday. I wanted 3 cards. I wish they'd tell me that before I start doing these things. So we had that one about someone not being. Yeah, so that would be past. Tiger Iron, future Labradorite. I think we had Labradorite last time, did we? Tiger Iron. The Labradorite. Let's go for Labradorite first. Labradorite. I put some of that upstairs. If you have crystals, make sure that you cleanse them. Labradorite. You will soon see that a particular situation that is causing concern and preventing you from moving forward is due to fear. This realization in itself is a breakthrough. By acknowledging your fear, you transcend it and a whole new vista becomes visible. There you go. That's the card that I read earlier was me yesterday. The card now is me today. By acknowledging your fear, you transcend it and a whole new vista becomes visible. Soon fear will no longer obstruct you and you will move forward in leaps and bounds. As you begin to achieve your goals, you will realize that you can communicate with others telepathically and that this form of communication can influence events in a positive way. By bringing your focus within, it is possible to energetically connect and communicate with everyone and everything upon this planet. You will gain invaluable insights which will help you focus your attention on that which will be of greater good for all concerned, including yourself. This is an exciting and wondrous time for you. However, you are being cautioned not to abuse this newfound gift, and to remember always to act through love and for the greater good of all. At the heart of all creation, only love exists. It stirs within my heart as it moves to the earth and stars through the endless cycles. All is interwoven with light. All is interconnected through love. Okay, so the future one, Tiger Iron. Tiger Iron. Never heard of that. Looks a bit like, okay. Tiger's Eye, there you go. Jasper, Hematite. Mental clarity, grounding, assertiveness, vitality, sexual energy. There you go. That was my past, my present, and my future. The peace and mental clarity you seek can only be found by grounding your abstract spiritual ideas and concepts into your everyday life. That is, to bring things back to basics and honor the fact that you have been blessed with a physical life. Realize that while you are highly spiritual in nature, it is no mistake that you are here. It has been so eloquently said by one of our world's great teachers, you are a spiritual person who is having a physical experience, and as such you are being urged to honor your humanity. This tiger iron crystal will help ground you and revitalize your sexual energy. Both these qualities are needed in order to be an effective force on earth to live a fulfilling and inspired life. Remember, spirit is not in the clouds. It is here, right in the thick of things. That is the beauty and majesty and power of spirit. The absolute, see, are experienced. You do not have to run away from the world in order to find peace. For true peace you seek is inside you. The spiritual master is one who is able to find peace even in the midst of turmoil. So that is basically what the book was saying, and to me this makes perfect sense in sequence. And the angels have just said pull another card, because that was their message for me, and maybe some of you can identify with that. It was just clearing up what was going on over the last 48 hours. So ask an angel again, yeah? Yay, let's ask the angels. Angels are so cool. Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be angels. Whatever you believe in, whoever you believe in, it's all connected, it's all one, it's all absolute, and it's all truth. That's what we learnt today. I think that's a very important lesson. Okie dokie. It is children, Archangel Metatron. Children. I always feel like my confidence today is a bit higher than normal. I always feel like you guys are sitting there bored out of your skull thinking, my God, what's this woman talking about? So children, Archangel Metatron acts as the link between the human and the divine. This is exactly what children are. It is no wonder that he is patron angel of children. The children completely live in the now. They live in the truth of their feelings and perceptions. Children come completely from God's space, the absolute, and through childhood learn to integrate into human world. As adults, we hope to integrate the lesson that the human world is the God space dreaming, and at the end of our lives we return to the original source. As children, the world is full of possibility. It is a magical place to be, explored and enjoyed. Feelings, magic, curiosity, adventure and imagination. All these qualities live, breathe and express themselves through the open and innocent heart of a child. If you have drawn this card today, it is time for you to open up to the wonder of life. It is time for you to connect to the child within. It is time to play, explore, feel and connect to the realms of possibility. It is time to let go of the need to do and embrace the need to be. A release from all the should-dos, the pressures, responsibilities and seriousness of busy, uptight and often grumpy adult life is necessary now. There you go. Now is the time to be curious, explore, play and connect to the magic of life. If you have children or are close to any children, use them as your guide. Let them be your teacher and remind you of how to be free in your spirit and explore the wonders of life, creativity and imagination and possibilities. There you go. That is basically what the 5-card spread said. So everything is interlinked and interconnected, and sorry about my crystal cards being more about myself, not more for the general public there. So I might do a Ascension special before the 21st, just to make sure that we're all clued up on that. But if you have any lists, any attributes and things about yourself that you wish to let go of, now is the time, okay? Now is the time to let them go and surrender and release them to the skies. And if you're not meant to ascend, it won't affect you. Don't worry about it. If you are meant to ascend, if you're not available at 11:11 on the 21st, the energy will still come to you. Make sure when you get up in the morning, or before, if you're going to be on nights the night before and you're going to be sleeping, make sure you open up to that energy in a protective bubble and just say a blessing and say, I am willing to and ready to receive, and just open those channels, and that will make it easier. Try and do a chakra clearing or something like that prior to then, and try and align your chakras and try and release as much as you can if you're wanting to, or know that you are going to ascend on that day. And if this all means nothing to you, then don't worry about it. It's not going to affect you in any way, shape or form. Okay? Because like I said before, I don't know, many people are like, everybody's going to say, no, they're not. And even the big named people out there will tell you that. And I've in fact heard them say that, and I thought, there you go, I am right, I knew that. That was good confirmation for me that I am also very well connected. Anyway, have a wonderful week ahead, and I shall speak to you soon. And thank you for listening, much appreciated. And if you've got any feedback, even if you want to say, you know what, stop reading because you're not a good reader or whatever, it's just fine, just tell me, because I can only learn through criticism or through constructive comments that are helpful for my development and growth. Bye bye.